So I just recently got back from quite a crazy adventure, and an adventure that I really wasn't planning on being so exciting. It all really started with my friend Isaiah. Shout out to Isaiah. He had to move from here in Florida all the way up to Indiana for a job. Very proud of him, and he wanted me to go, wanted me to tag along and help him move. So I said yes, and I completely forgot about it. Months go by, and then all of a sudden, here it comes. It's here. The day is here, and I am not prepared at all. I had to sit there and really think and try to make the decision. Do I want to go or do I not want to go? Genuinely, there are a lot of factors that could have prevented me from going on this trip, and no one really would have blamed me. I sat and I thought, and I decided to go. In the long run, I decided that optimizing for having fun and going on an adventure was really going to be worth the whatever the amount of money it was going to come out to being. The day comes around. It's Monday. We start early. We decide to leave at around 6:30, 7 a.m. in the morning. So Isaiah comes, he picks me up, and we start driving. The first day was the most grueling day of driving. 11 total hours, but split between me, him, and his girlfriend, 3 people. It really went by fast. You could just take a nap inside of the car and speed travel. We stopped in Nashville, Tennessee. Actually being there and experiencing the city for what it is, it was really nice. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. We got some Nashville hot chicken. We went walking down Broadway or whatever the main street is. It was just overall a really good time. But after that, we had to hop into the car and start driving to the next destination. We hop into the car and we drive up to Louisville, Kentucky. We don't really know what's in Louisville, Kentucky, but we just decided, hey, we might as well go to Louisville, Kentucky, you know? We get there, and to be honest, and I don't mean any offense to the Kentuckians or the Louisvillians, but Louisville's kind of a dump. It kind of is. Don't get mad at me. It kind of is. But overall, it was it was a nice time in Louisville. We were only there for a night. Stayed at the hotel. For whatever reason, the hotel bathtub was completely full of water. Don't really know why, but other than that, everything was cool. Overall, it was good. All right, next day comes around. We head out to our final destination, Fort Wayne, Indiana, my friend's final resting place. Well, he didn't die. You get what I mean. Where the place that he was going to call home from now on. But the real work begins now. We have to unpack everything from his car. We're going, unpacking. He had a U-Haul, a U-Box. We had to go and grab everything inside of the U-Haul and bring it and put it into the thing. Overall, it only took like 2 or 3 hours, but definitely the hardest day of the entire trip. And after that, we really just chilled, and we went and got some groceries, did the essentials, food, toilet paper, all the essential stuff that you need for a new home. And the next day comes around, and this is the final day of the trip for us. We go and we head out to go see his new job. He's working at this nice new place, so we decided to go and check it out and just see what was up. And to be honest, this place that he's working for is insane, man. They got a giant store that you can just walk through and play all sorts of stuff, and then they got a giant fucking food court. It's so crazy. Anyway, said goodbye. Really proud of Isaiah, really happy for him and the path that his life has gone, and I was really thankful to be there for the second time around. It really did feel like a complete full circle moment, moving him into college and now moving him into his first real big boy apartment by himself. I really am thankful that I was able to experience that and just be together with one of my best friends and just do that with him, because I know it meant a lot to him and it meant a lot to me that he wanted me to be there. So after we said our goodbyes, this is where my adventure really starts to become a wild adventure. So Fort Wayne, Indiana is about 4 hours away to Chicago, Illinois. And I just so happen to have some friends and family who live in Chicago, Illinois. So I decided, hey, since I'm up here, might as well try to get to Chicago. I find the Greyhound bus for $40. $40. Never been on a Greyhound bus before, so I didn't know what to expect, but $40, you can't beat that. Friend Isaiah drops me off at the Greyhound bus. I hop onto the bus. Everything is A-okay. And I take the 4-hour bus ride all the way up to Chicago. And I just pretty much spent the rest of my day just chilling, hanging out, called it a day. And this is where things get crazy. The next morning, it is an early morning start. We are taking full advantage of this entire day. I wake up at 5:50 in the morning, and I am not a morning person. But I wake up at 5:50 in the morning to be ready and up by 6:30 so we can go to this lake jump. That's what they call it. I guess this is something that happens in Chicago every Friday. It's called a lake jump. Everyone gets together at this one beach and everyone jumps into the cold ass water. So that's exactly what we did. We gathered up all of our stuff. We go ahead and met some friends. We drove out there and we did the thing. We hop into the motherfucking lake. You feel me? And cold. Just cold. But honestly, very pleasurable. I had a great time. What a great way to start the morning. Just hopping into a giant cold body of water. Like, I know that there's plenty of science to state that, but actually experiencing it, 10 out of 10. Absolutely amazing. But we were only there for about 20 minutes because we have stuff to do. So we hop in, hop out, dry off, go over to a friend's apartment. Boom. Now the day for real starts. We get over to the friend's apartment. We're all like, all right, let's go get some breakfast. Let's get some a little brekkie. We go back. We make some bussin' ass breakfast burritos. Fire. Boom. Next leg of the trip starts right now. There is a Starbucks Reserve Roastery in Chicago, which, if you don't know, I guess is just ginormous Starbucks that is like 6 floors tall, and each floor has something different. Well, we get there, and the line to get into this place is around the fucking block. And it's only like 9 a.m. at this point, and it's around the block. We say, absolutely not. We need a cut. We need to go and do something else. So, what is the next logical conclusion to what we should do? Here, I'll give you a second to guess, because I bet you won't. We decide, you know what, since we can't go to the Starbucks, we might as well go to the dispensary. Who's going to say no to that? Who? Definitely not me. I'm saying yes to that. I'm saying yes to that 11 out of 10 times, man. Come on. So we hit the dispensary. And it just so happens that this dispensary on this particular day is doing some sort of event where they have this ginormous coach bus parked out front. And they tell us, hey, you can go and smoke all of this stuff that you just bought in the bus that's parked outside. And they got snacks, they got drinks, and they're handing out little joints for free. We say, are you fucking for real? I never ran so fast to a bus in my entire life, man. Let me tell you, I hop on the bus, immediately get greeted by this nice lady who's just sitting there rolling motherfucking J's up. And I just, of course, I'm finna take one. Of course. She gives me one. I say, thank you so much, right? We go and we sit down. And me and all my friends, we're all just sitting here. We're chilling. We're chatting with the people. We're sparking up. It's a good time. It's a good ass time, man. At this point, I hadn't smoked in like 4 days. So, man, that first light of that motherfucking shade just hit. Don't do drugs, man. So, we get ourselves right. And we a little bit. And we decide, all right, what's the next leg of the trip? What's the next stop? They go, there's this art museum that has a Van Gogh exhibit. And we just went and saw it. But if you would like to go see it, because I'm the new guy. I just arrived. But if you want to go see it, we should totally go see it. I go, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, let's go. If you don't know me, I'm a little bit of an art snob. I really enjoy art. I really enjoy going to art museums. I was an art major in high school. Like, come on, man. Like, this is right down my motherfucking lane. Let's do it. So we head straight to this art museum. And Lollapalooza is happening at that same moment. And it just so happens to be located right next to the art museum that we're heading to. So the whole time we are going, we are just surrounded by ravers. Surrounded by ravers, man. And let me tell you, the vibe was immaculate. Like, it was so great just walking around, just seeing all these motherfucking people with all sorts of daddy, all these costumes on and whatnot. It was great. So we head into this art museum, smelling loud as fuck. I know it too. I'm like, oh man, I hope I don't smell high. I hope I don't look high. But I know my ass was sitting in there fried, just walking, right? And I'm walking through this museum, and I'm seeing all these really nice art pieces, and I'm like, yes, this is so nice. And, I'm still high, so I'm really vibing, just taking in the whole thing. And I go, what would make this experience just better? What would just be the cherry on top of this experience? Let me just set the vibe. Let me set the mood real quick. So I pop in an earbud, and I start playing some classical music. And let me tell you, when I tell you that the vibe immediately goes from a 10 to 10 to 1,000 out of 10, whoo! Let me tell you, I felt like I was Leonardo da Vinci walking around Milan. I felt like I was a fashion model walking down the runway in Paris. I felt like I was transported to a place where I was just better than everyone. I'm not even gonna lie. I felt way better than everyone inside of that building. I know it. I just know. Because the amount of joy that I had in that moment, just walking around this museum, smelling loud as fuck, just vibing, looking at some art, listening to some classical music, was peak, bro. Peak. But I digress. After we hit the art museum, we grab some lunch. I got myself a Chicago dog. Always a staple when you hit Chicago. You gotta get a Chicago dog. I cannot recommend enough. And we cut again. So we hop on the train, we go back, and we get ready for the rest of the night, which is Barbie night. And look, I'm not here to say anything about Barbie. I went and I had a good time. I enjoyed myself watching the movie, but I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of fucking lost. I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know what it was, but entertaining movie. I thought it was funny, but god damn, I left that movie theater feeling lost as fuck, man. Like, what? And so we go back after this movie, and we're just chilling for the rest of the night. Smoking, vibing, talking. You know how it is. And that's the end of this day. That was one day. That was all of that. I just spent more time talking about that one day than the entire 4 days before it. Okay, so the next day, Saturday. This is the final day of my trip. And now it's time for me to go back home. I hop on the bus. I go down to the airport. I get to the airport on time. I go through security on time. And I'm sitting waiting at my gate on time. I hop onto the plane. The plane flies me from here to there. And I go home. And I slept like a baby. Now that we're at the end of this story, you might be wondering, or you might have been wondering the whole time, and you might have already left by now. Who knows? You might be asking yourself, okay, so what's the point of this video? The point of me telling you this story was for me to try to convince you, if you can find any time and any little bit of money to just get out, go on an adventure, don't have anything planned, and just figure it out, I think that will lead to a lot of happiness. And I think that little bit of insight has really opened my eyes to the importance of not having all the answers and not beating myself up for not having all the answers. And just knowing that not everything has to be perfect, not everything has to be planned, but if you take on opportunities head on and try to make the most out of it and just try to have fun, I think we all need a little bit more of that in our lives. That was everything I had. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTuber things. You know I love you. Mwah. Get out of here, man.